How is it going, good people of YouTube? Welcome to another concept series video. Today I'm actually recording this on my PlayStation, and we're just gonna kind of test it out and see how it is and how it goes. Um, Audio shouldn't be too bad. Mic audio should be loud and clear, hopefully. But yeah. So this one is another MMO concept. This is actually this is technically a follow-up of the Deadlands concept video that I did, like a couple weeks ago, I think, at this point. And this one is Deadlands Noir MMO concept. I'm thinking this is either probably gonna just be Deadlands Noir, Shadows of the Big Easy, because I think it's in New Orleans and they call it the Big Easy. Or it could be Deadlands Noir Online, but I think Deadlands Noir Shadows of the Big Easy sounds a little better. So yeah, so the core concept, Deadlands Shadows of the Big Easy, is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game set in the gritty, supernatural 1930s of the Deadlands Noir universe. Players step into the shoes of hard-boiled detectives, cursed gunslingers and voodoo priests, and mad scientists in a dark, alternate history of New Orleans, where the supernatural lurks in every alley. The game will blend noir aesthetics, pulp horror, and Weird West elements with a focus on cooperative storytelling, faction-based intrigue, and dynamic open-world events. Players unravel conspiracies, battle occult threats, and navigate a city teetering between human ambition and eldritch horror. So yeah, so the game is set in New Orleans, 1935, a city steeped in mystery, corruption, and corruption. The Great Depression grips the nation, but supernatural forces like ghosts, demons, and ancient entities thrive in the shadows. The city is divided into iconic districts like the French Quarter, the Garden District, the Bayou, and the Docks. Each with unique aesthetics, factions, and threats. The harrowed undead anti-heroes with demonic passengers roam alongside mobsters, corrupt officials, and secret societies. The Weird West roots of Deadlands are going to be reimagined in a noir lens, with jazz-filled speakeasies, rain-slicked streets, and flickering neon signs hiding unspeakable horrors. So some of the gameplay pillars. So first up we have character archetypes and customization. So players choose from archetypes inspired by Deadlands Noir. So you have the Gumshoe, a hard-nosed detective skilled in investigation and social manipulation. You have the Harrowed, an undead gunslingers wrestling with inner demons for supernatural power. You have the Blessed, which are voodoo practitioners or holy warriors with faith-based magic. You have Mad Scientist, so inventors of bizarre steam-powered punk gadgets powered by ghost rock. The Grifter, a charismatic con artist excelling in deception and underworld dealings. There would be deep customization, which would allow players to mix skills, supernatural abilities, and equipment. So things like enchanted revolvers, voodoo talismans, or experimental ray guns. There would be a morality system that tracks players' alignments, so there'd be lawful, neutral, corrupt, or cursed, influencing NPC reactions and story outcomes. There would be a dynamic open world. So New Orleans is a living city with day-night cycles, weather effects, and sudden fog, hiding monsters, and random events like gang wars, ghost sightings, and cult rituals. Districts Districts have unique atmospheres, like the French Quarter buzzes with jazz and crime, while the Bayou hides ancient horrors, stuff like that. Players can own safe houses, which would be customizable apartments or speakeasies for crafting, socializing, or planning heists. So kind of like a GTA Online style, you know? Um, there would be narrative-driven gameplay, so there would be a central storyline that follows a citywide conspiracy involving a mysterious artifact that the Black Veil, which threatens to unleash an apocalypse, the Black Veil. Um, Quests would blend noir investigation, so things like tracking clues, interrogating suspects, with supernatural combat, so banishing spirits, fighting werewolves, stuff like that. Choices would matter, so players can align with factions like the mob, voodoo cults, or government agents, which would impact the story and city control. Cooperative storytelling allows players to form agencies, which would be guilds, to tackle cases together. Combat and supernatural systems. So fast-paced third-person combat mixes gunplay, melee, and supernatural abilities. So things like casting hexes, summoning spirits, or deploying ghost rock gadgets. So it would be fast-paced third-person combat. The fear level mechanic would affect gameplay, or how would the fear level mechanic affect gameplay. So high fear levels in an area spawn stronger monsters and alter NPC behavior, requiring players to lower it through heroic actions. Harrowed players can tap into demonic powers at the risk of losing control, creating tense risk-reward moments. Multiplayer and social features. So cooperative missions encourage teamwork, such as infiltrating a mob-controlled casino or exercising a haunted manor. PvP arenas in the form of underground fight clubs or faction turf wars. That's another multiplayer / social feature. There would be social hubs, so jazz clubs, black markets, which would allow players to trade, roleplay, or gamble using in-game currency, which would be ghost rock chips or the US dollar. Dynamic events like citywide monster outbreaks require players to band together to save New Orleans. Some of the core systems, so players earn grit, which would be experience to unlock skills, supernatural abilities, and gear upgrades. A reputation system tracks influence with factions, unlocking exclusive quests or betrayals. So this is something similar to like World of Warcraft, where you can track where you're standing with a current faction, or stuff like that. Crafting, so mad scientist blend and blessed can craft unique items like ghost rock weapons or voodoo charms using resources found in the world. Economy, it would be a player-driven economy which revolves around ghost rock, rare artifacts, and black market goods. Endgame, so raids against elder horrors, high stakes heists, and faction wars provide replayable challenges. Now we're getting into the expansion, so there would be expansions for every, I think You'd probably release an expansion every like year or 2 years or something like that. So expansions. Each expansion introduces a new region, story arc, archetype, and gameplay mechanics, expanding the Deadlands Noir universe while deepening the core narrative. Expansion 1, Blood on the Mississippi. The setting expands to the Mississippi River and Memphis, Tennessee, introducing riverboats, haunted plantations, and industrial ghost rock mines. Story: a cult worshipping a river god threatens to flood the region, and players must uncover its ties to the Black Veil. New archetype, River Rat. Scoundrels skilled in navigation, smuggling, and aquatic combat. The new mechanic, naval combat, which would be piloting steamboats, underwater exploration, and dynamic flood events that reshape the map. Key feature: players can own and customize riverboats as mobile safe houses. Yeah, you can have a little houseboat. Expansion 2, Ashes of Chicago. Setting: Chicago, a city of skyscrapers, mob wars, and arcane corruption, with a focus on urban noir and industrial horror. Story: a mad scientist experiment threatens to awaken an ancient entity beneath the city, linked to the Black Veil's origins. New archetype, occultist, scholars of forbidden knowledge who wield dark rituals at great personal cost. Mechanics, rooftop chases, subway dungeon crawls, and a corruption system where players risk madness for power. A key feature, dynamic faction wars where players influence city control through sabotage or alliances. Next up, Expansion 3, Curse on the Bayou. Setting: expands the Louisiana Bayou with sprawling swamps, voodoo enclaves, and ancient ruins. Story: a primordial horror stirs in the swamps, and players must ally or betray voodoo spirits to stop it. New archetype, Swamp Warden. Survivalists skilled in tracking, traps, and communing with nature spirits. Mechanics, survival mechanics, or a new mechanic, which would be a survival mechanic. Hunger, disease, dynamic weather like hurricanes, and spirit packs grant temporary powers. Key feature, players can tame supernatural creatures like gator spirits as companions. Expansion 4, The Devil's Gambit. Setting: Las Vegas, a desert boomtown of casinos, demonic packs, and Weird West outlaws. A demonic casino mogul seeks the Black Veil to dominate the supernatural world, forcing players to infiltrate high-stakes games. New archetype, the Gambler. Luck-based rogues who manipulate fate with enchanted cards or dice. New mechanics, gambling minigames, so things like poker, roulette with supernatural stakes, and a luck system that affects combat and loot. Key feature, players can run their own casinos, hosting events and managing underworld politics. Some of the monetization, so the base game would be buy to play with a one-time purchase, including the core New Orleans setting and story. Expansions would be paid expansions released annually, each adding new regions and content. There would be cosmetic items, so noir outfits, weapon skins, and safe house decor. Convenience items, XP boosts, and battle pass for seasonal events. Yeah. Um, Technical details. So, Unreal Engine 5 for cinematic visuals, dynamic lighting, and seamless open world. Platform, PC, PlayStation, Xbox with cross-platform play. Servers, dedicated servers with instanced dungeons for raids and private missions. Some of the unique selling points. Immersive, it's an immersive noir atmosphere with a supernatural twist, blending LA Noir's detective work with World of Warcraft's MMO depth. Dynamic worlds, so another unique selling point, dynamic world events and faction systems that make player choices feel impactful. Another selling point, expansions that expand the world while staying true to the Deadlands lore. Uh, Another unique selling point, roleplay friendly features like safe houses, social hubs, and customizable backstories. Yeah, that's all of it. That's the whole the whole thing. Now, if you liked this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and leave a comment and tell us how you would do um, a Deadlands Noir MMO. Yeah, let us know. But yeah, I thank you for your viewership, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.